I was seeing some people respond to common Catholic objections to faith alone,
Okay.
and they brought up, they answered Matthew 7:21-23, and they said that because Jesus says, "Depart from me, I never knew you," they claimed that that was proof that they never actually believed. So I was wondering how you could
No.
maybe,
So why didn't you finish it? Why were they condemned?
because they worked iniquity.
Meaning they disregarded the law. Iniquity means breaking the law. Anomian means breaking his law. So why is he condemning them? By not doing his commands. How's that faith alone? In fact, why did they start at 23, where in 21, front of your eyes, it says, not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but he who does the will of my Father who's in heaven. Which part of doing is what Jesus is going to judge you for?
The keeping the law.
Yeah, but brother, what you said was that the fact that they didn't keep the law, Christ's law, means they didn't believe. So they want to get around it to show, see, it's only your belief. The context begins by saying, those who do the will of my Father will enter in heaven. It's about doing. So how are they butchering the context to show it's not about doing?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree with
Why didn't
you.
you show them the context? Because what you did was you didn't go and read the context. Why not? It begins by saying, you must do the will of my Father to go to heaven. Because if you don't do his will, meaning do his commandments, practice his law, you're going to hell. That's why he then says, therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and does them. It's all about doing his commands. Then you'll be like a rock that won't be destroyed. And everyone hearing these words of mine and not doing them will fall. How could they get away with butchering the context?
Yeah. Would you say it's correct to say that he doesn't know them because they don't do the will, because they don't follow?
Jesus, he who does not love me does not keep my word. John 14:24. He says, you want to know that you don't love me? You don't keep my word. And if you don't love me, then you have nothing to do with me. John 14:23-24. Jesus answered and said to him, if anyone loves me, he will keep my word. See, you love me, you're going to obey me. My Father will love him. We will come to him, make our dwelling with him. He who does not love me does not keep my words. So if you don't do his words, you don't love him. So it has nothing to do with you. Depart from me. Where's the problem?
No, yeah. I think it's pretty clear that he doesn't know them because they don't keep the commandments. Yeah.
That's right there. Yeah. Now, obviously, he knows they exist and he knows they don't obey him. So it means he doesn't know them intimately. He doesn't know them personally. He doesn't have fellowship with them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So why would he have fellowship with people who don't love him? Why would I be in a relationship with someone who doesn't love me?
Yeah, it makes no sense. That's right.
That's what it means to know. To know means to know intimately, to know personally, to have an intimate personal relationship. He goes, we did not know each other intimately. Why? Because you didn't love me. So why would I be in an intimate relationship with someone who doesn't love me? I'm not going to force myself on you. It's like a marriage.
Yeah.
See? So I don't know what they're talking about. Say, wait, did you read the context? It's all about doing his words, doing the will of the Father. How did you miss that?
Yeah. Yeah, I should have.
Not
Yeah.
you saying them. How did they miss that?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
there's.
I don't know if you have any other questions, but that's how it's easy to destroy that argument. Say, what are you talking about? Read the context.
Yeah. Do you mind if I ask you a question about once saved, always saved?
That's not in the Bible, brother.
It's I saw um,
Too much
people
stuff.
using.
the opposite side. But go ahead, yeah.
I saw people using Ephesians chapter 1, I think verses 13, to say that people who are sealed by the Spirit, they will never see death or something.
Really? So
Something.
you mean, if that's the case, so then why does Paul warn you, do not grieve the Holy Spirit by whom you've been sealed? Ephesians 4:30. So what does that mean?
Yeah, that's right.
So they're going to read to me Ephesians 1:13-14 that I've been sealed by the Spirit as a deposit that guarantees my inheritance. But then ignore Paul warning that you better not grieve the Holy Spirit of God by whom you're sealed. So what happens if you grieve the Holy Spirit? Well, judgment and destruction.
Yeah, and
because Romans 11 tells you that you will remain attached to the olive tree by your faithfulness. Otherwise, if you stop being faithful, you'll be cut off due to your unbelief, like the Jews were. Romans 11, 20-22, right?
right.
So how come they like to take snippets here and there and not read Paul in its entire context? Here. Quite right. They were broken off for their unbelief, but you stand by your faith. Do not be haughty, but fear. For if God did not spare the natural branches, he will not spare you either. Behold then the kindness and severity of God. To those who fell, severity, but to you, God's kindness, if you continue in his kindness, otherwise you also will be cut off.
Yeah. I've seen some people trying to explain it away, like saying, oh no, it's just like a parable or a figure of speech. So it's
But a
kind of
figure of
hard to.
speech, buddy, figure of speech is supposed to point to something real. So what is this parable pointing to?
Yeah, to the fact that they will lose salvation if they don't continue in
Obviously,
God's
I'm
path.
not a branch. So what does it mean? I'll be cut off. Well, it means I'll be separated from Christ. And what happens when a branch is separated? It says it's burned up. John 15, verses 1 to 8. Here, let me read to you. John 15, 6 to 8. So if you're cut off, you'll be burned up. If you're a branch that's cut off, what happens to you? If anyone does not abide in me, he is thrown away as a branch that dries up, and they gather and cast them into the fire, and they are burned. If you abide in me, look, conditional, and my words abide in you, ask whatever you wish, and it will be done to you. My Father is glorified by this, that you bear much fruit, and so prove to me my disciples. So how come they don't read the Bible holistically?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a condition, yeah.
Yeah, it's everywhere in Paul, it's a condition. Here, let me show you. 1:21-23. Look at here, Colossians 1:21-23. Here you go. And although you were formerly alienated and enemies in mind and in evil deeds, but now he reconciled you in the body of his flesh through death, in order to present you before him holy and blameless and beyond reproach. If indeed you continue in faith, what happens if you don't?
You lose your salvation.
So, game over. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's more? What's there to say? What is there more to say?
Yeah, and sometimes they bring up like some other verses. I think it's John 3:16, but
Yeah.
but then if John says, yeah,
the same John, which mentioned Jesus in John 15, that if you don't bear fruit and abide in him, you'll be cut off and thrown in the fire. That same John?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no getting around it.
No, they will quote the verses they like, but ignore how those verses are to be understood in light of the entirety of the Bible or the entirety of that writing. Like they quote Ephesians 1:13-14, you're sealed by the Holy Spirit, but then they ignore the warning, Ephesians 4:30. Do not grieve the Holy Spirit by whom you sealed, because the Israelites in the past grieved the Holy Spirit and God destroyed them. Right?
Yeah.
So Paul is warning you, don't follow in their footsteps. Here it is, Isaiah 63:10. But they rebelled and grieved his Holy Spirit. Therefore, he turned himself to become their enemy and he fought against them. So Paul is warning you, do not grieve the Holy Spirit of God by whom you were sealed for day of redemption. Because why? If you grieve and offend the Holy Spirit, what happens? Well, what happened to the Israelites? God will turn against you and fight you.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the point, brother. That's it.
Yeah, there's no getting around. There's, yeah. And
You're going to sleep better at night knowing you can lose your salvation?
well, actually, not really, but it's always good to know the truth. Yeah.